Good morning. Welcome to Hatha Yoga. I hope that everyone is staying warm or at least going to enjoy the sunshine and the cold. Today's class is on the sacral area, the bottom little triangular bone here, which is equated with fluidity, fluid movement, with the water element. So we'll be working on the lower back and strengthening that area and making it more fluid. So we can also come down and find our seat. Sukhasana, easy seat, whatever that means for you. And let's just put one hand back on our sacrum and one hand in front on our lower belly. Just finding that spot, that hard triangular bone. I'm just going to sink into my seat deeper, and I'm going to make sure that my music is playing. There it goes. And just feeling into that spot now that you have it. We're going to just very gentle rock back and forth. A seated cat-cow. You can keep your hands on your lower back and lower abs, or you can just bring your hands on your knees and waking up that area. A little curve, a little coming forward. Just a gentle, fluid motion. And if you want to find any other movements in that area, maybe a little twisting, a little bending over, a little coming up, or just stay with our cat-cow. Just going to adjust the volume. Sorry. And now that we've warmed up that area, let's just come over into our tabletop. Again, we can feel that area. And we'll come into some more cat-cows or Chakravakasana, waking up all the energy points along the spine. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, curling the tailbone, bring the navel up. And just at your own pace, rocking into an extended cat back. Rocking forward, bringing your forward as you inhale. And exhaling, rounding. Feeling your tailbone go up to the sky. And come curling down. And just on your own for 2 breaths. And then coming into stillness. Pushing our hands in the ground. Let's bring one leg up. And then we're going to do knee to nose. Curl your knee to nose. And extend. Point in knee to nose. And extend. And just doing 3 more at your own pace. And then extend the opposite arm. So you have a diagonal from this extended arm to the opposite hip. Your fingers are reaching forward, your toes back. You can reach back and just see if the hips are still even. And then one big inhale and exhale down. And let's just feel into the hips, making some little circles, fluid water movement. Fluid water movement. And maybe some side to side, little hip bumps. And then we'll do the other side, bringing that leg up without cocking a hip. They're still even. And then knee to nose. Inhale up, knee to nose. And back. And 3 more on your own. And after your last one, just extend that leg, pointing your toes, reach the opposite fingers forward, feel that diagonal stretch across your back, reach in 2 directions, and then come down. Let's just come back to a little child's pose, curling your lower back. And let's take 2 breaths here. And let's come back to that tabletop. And we're just going to bring that cat-cow a little closer forward and bringing our hips back and down, moving between child's pose and cow pose. I'll turn this way. And 3 more on your own. And back in our tabletop, slightly turn your fingers in, elbows out. We're going to extend one leg again and then dip down for a little push-up and come up. And you can make this little scoop if you want at the end. Or just do 2 more here. And we'll switch sides. Other leg comes back. And just dip down, sort of like a little bird taking a drink. And 2 more. And bring your feet down, toes tucked, your hands, middle finger straight ahead. We'll push back to a downward dog. And find your dog here. Find how your sacrum lifts. And just raise your right leg. And we'll bend that knee. Point your big toe as if you're poking someone on the other side. And then keeping that leg bent. Just go a little up and down. Bring that knee up and down. Maybe you look under to meet it. And then circling that knee. Big circles in one direction and big circles in another direction. And then look at your right hand. Step it towards the outside of where that right hand was. And we're going to take a really big twist. Opening up. Dropping your knee down for a little lizard. And you can just let this bent knee drop out. And just rocking to open the pelvis. And then we'll come back into a wide leg child's pose, curling in, maybe rocking the hips. And let's take 2 more breaths in our child's pose. And then we're just going to spider walk our fingers to one side, taking a stretch. Can push into this left hand. And then we'll spider walk to the other side. Push into the extended hand. And coming back to the middle, we'll just tuck our toes and come back to our down dog. Lifting your hips way up and settling down. And then a little tuck with the pelvis and release, a little tuck. Just a tiny little lower back cat-cow. And then raising that opposite leg, bending the knee, poking someone, and keeping that knee bent. We'll just raise it up. Your heel here is close to your opposite buttock. Your knee is out to the side. And we're just raising it up and down. One more time. And then we'll make a circle. And we'll circle the other way. And then step that hand to that foot to the outside of your mat. And we'll take a big twist, taking up almost the whole mat. And then dropping that knee, dropping the bent leg here, knee out, coming into our lizard, finding a little movement in that lower back, mid back, almost as if you were going to walk like a lizard here. And then tuck that back toe, coming back to your down dog, raising the right leg, toes pointed, knee to nose. Open up, knee to nose, toe to sky, knee to nose, toe to sky. And we'll drop down into our downward dog. Taking 3 breaths here. And then we'll raise the opposite leg, toes pointed, knee to nose, extend, knee to nose, extend, knee to nose, extend. Now bring your toes down, back to downward dog. Okay, pressing those hips up, letting them bloom open. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. And a big breath in, coming into plank. A little engage of your abs. And then dropping all the way down onto your belly. Hands under your shoulders. You can have your head down. Just finding your hips there. And bring your head, nose, and chin up. Little baby cobra. Hands are firm. Maybe pulling backwards. And coming down. Can spider your fingers out, elbows up. Coming up higher into your cobra. Maybe now your head, heart, and solar plexus come forward. And on an exhale, We'll just come down. And one last time, hands under your shoulders, pressing up, elbows in, coming into your cobra. And when you're ready, you can slowly come down. Maybe bring your hands under your head for a pillow. Raising your legs, just let your legs windshield to release that lower back. And again, bringing hands under shoulders, tucking toes. We'll come through child's pose to downward dog. And then just step up to the top, coming into your Uttanasana, your stable grounding pose. And again, you can tap into your sacrum and your lower abdomen and just give a little rock. And then we'll raise our arms, sitting down into a chair. Again, check in. You don't want to have a pop here. You don't want to be tucked under. You want a neutral pelvis. So engage your core. Bring your arms out, holding your chair. And then reach forward and down, coming onto your knees with your torso. And then your arms swing up. Follow that arc up, back into your chair, sitting back more. And then your fingers come forward, making a downward arc as your torso lays on your knees. Just release here. And one more time, bring those hands up, coming into chair. And then coming all the way up, taking a mini back bend. Bring your hands down to your heart in prayer. And we'll just steeple our index fingers like they're an arrow. And we're going to come slightly down, the curved back, and then let that arrow shoot up to the sky. And bring it down into the curve of your abdomen. And then let it come up, maybe a slight back bend. And one more, pulling down, feeling that tension, and then let the arrow fly up. And we'll swan dive down, hanging over into a forward bend, Uttanasana. And the knees can be light and springy. Engage your abdomen. And coming halfway up, long spine. Deeply bend your left leg and take a twist to the right. You can have a hand on your sacrum or your hand up. And drop down to Uttanasana. Deeply bend your right leg. Take a twist to the left. Big inhale at the top. And coming down. And fold over. Shake your head, let go. Coming halfway up, deeply bending the left, letting that hand come to your sacrum or straight up. Big inhale at the top and fold over. And one more. Bend the right leg, lift the left arm. Reaching up and exhaling down. Let's come all the way up slowly, vertebra by vertebra. Checking in your sacrum. And then let's just take a little twist, loosening up the spine, letting your arms just flop. And slowing down until you're into stillness. Let's just take a breath in stillness. And let it go. Going to step the right leg back into a wide high lunge. I sometimes think of my tailbone sacrum area as a rudder, and whichever way it's pointing is where my body will steer. So I want it straight down. And now I can raise my arms, taking a back bend. And again, bringing my arms forward and down over an extended leg for pyramid. Bending that knee, sinking down as my arms come up. And I take my back bend. Coming forward as I extend my knee to pyramid. And one more time up and sink down into the extended knee. And one more time, reaching over and down. You can help bring your head a little closer to your leg with your hand behind your calf. Let go. Bring your feet together. We'll come halfway up, half all the way down. Fingers, spider fingers on the ground. Let's just do a little shifting your hips back and forth here. Doesn't have to be a big movement. And then just droop over, feeling that low back opening. And we're just going to roll slowly up and step our left leg back. Nice wide stance, finding your hips, finding that you're coming up and down evenly, and then arcing your hands back for our back bend. Straighten the front leg and reach your arms down to the leg or the ground, pulling that hip back, sinking down, coming up, sinking down into that knee, and reaching forward over that leg. And one last time, coming up into our high lunge, our arms crescenting back. And forward with your hands over your extended leg, pulling that hip back. Maybe bring your head closer to that shin. And then just spider your hands. Bring your legs to the outside, toes pointed out, and we'll come into Malasana. And here you can just move however you want to move. You can help the knees go back and forth. And then we're going to come onto our knees. We won't be here for very long. Just coming into a Virasana. And here we'll take a little rock, another mini cat-cow, rounding, extending our arms, bringing our chest forward, and two more. And bringing your hands down on the mat. We're going to come all the way down onto our stomachs for some Shalavasana Locust practice. And I'm going to turn to the side so you can see my legs. So I have my hands under my shoulders again. I'm going to point my left toe and bring that leg up. My hips are on the ground, just my leg, and I'm engaging my glutes and reaching up from this crease. Now I bend my leg, toes pointed up, maybe lift a little higher. I'm sure you're feeling this in the low back. And we'll release. And the other side, point the right toe, lift the leg up, hips point still on the ground. Bend the leg. See if you can get the thigh a little bit more up off the ground. And let that drop. You can grab your head on your hands and just windshield wiper. Now we're going to do that again. Hands under your shoulders, hips on the ground. Raising the left leg as high as you can without moving your hip bones off the ground. Bend the knee, point the toes, and now press into your hands for a little mini cobra feeling. Release. Maybe a little wiggle in your hips. And then raise the right toes. Point the toes to the sky, bend your knee. And then push in, coming into a little cobra. And release. Just drop your head down. Now raising both legs together. Hip points on the ground. You're going to open to a V and together. A V and together. Inhale, open. Exhale, together. And come down. You can continue there or raising our toes. We can raise our torso up and then open legs, close. Open legs, close. Open legs, close, and drop down. Maybe take any movements for your lower back. And now we're going to do Foshalabhasana Locust pose. So you would have your arms forward to the side or back. And we're just going to raise up so we're balancing on our pelvic bones. Reaching hands to fingers or reaching fingers out and coming down. Let's come back to our child's pose. And maybe push with your hands, urging your back to just drop down and maybe rock. And then coming back up, going to come around onto our backs. Just have to fix my microphone a bit. So laying on your back with your knees bent. And let's just rock hips side to side. And we'll come into stillness. Hands are by our hips. Feet are pressing down. Raise one leg and just hover it. Feeling your back on that side, going a little closer to the ground. And another big breath here. And drop it. Bring the other leg up, however high you want to go. Feel that side of the back more on the ground. And just breathe. 1, 2, 3, and drop it down. And just rocking on that sacrum. You can use your hands to help you get that rock back and forth. And now firming up your hands. Let's bring both legs up. Can be however high you want. Firming up your abs. And let them drop. Bring your feet together. Let your legs drop out. Supta Baddha Konasana. And then adjusting your feet a little bit so you can slowly bring your knees up. Taking a rock. Slowly bring your legs down, your knees out. And slowly bringing them back in. And then re-rooting your feet on the ground, re-rooting your hands into the ground. We'll come into full bridge. Coming up. And we'll come down for 3 times. Just taking in some nice movement here. Feeling that lower back curling up and down. Releasing at the bottom. Tucking and curling. And releasing as it drops down to the ground. And then bringing your hips up. Pressing into your feet and your hands. You can bring your shoulders under you, taking a full bridge. Remembering that your knees are going straight forward. And 3 breaths here. And then coming down. Just finding the way your hips feel on the ground now. Let's bring our feet out and let our knees drop in. And then bring your knees into your chest, give them a hug. Maybe a little rock back and forth. And pull your knees in, bring your head up. Making a little circle. And dropping down. Bring your arms out. Let your knees drop to the right. And just a spinal twist. And one more breath, and we'll bring the knees back in and twist to the other side. And bring your knees in. We'll come into Shavasana, and then at the end come up for a short breathing meditation. So you can just lay down, let your feet go in and out to release your back, and come into stillness. And I'll sit down and watch the time for you. And slowly roll over onto your side. Take a breath. On your exhale, start to push yourself up to seated. And once you're in your seat, you just have your hands on your knees in your easy pose. And before we go out in the cold, we're going to do a little breath work to warm us up. So we're going to be inhaling through puckered lips. Imagine sipping a very hot cup of tea or coffee. Maybe when you bring the cup up, the steam goes in your nose. You feel the heat. You sip, exhale, swallowing, feeling the heat go down your esophagus, all the way through your body, coating you with warmth. And you'll just continue taking that sip, maybe warm broth. And exhale, let the warmth go all through your body. And one more. And maybe bring some warm hands there on your lower abdomen. And thank you all for coming. Hope to see you again soon, and hopefully in person, and stay warm wherever you are. Thank you.